Hello everyone, this is Rex Red. I am back with another polka introduction to Daz Studio. And today we are going to be working with Typi3D. It is a new app that you plug into Daz Studio, and it allows you to work with Windows system fonts directly within Daz Studio. And so we are going to, I'll give you a little bit of background. This is now for sale. You can get it for $21, and that price is pretty firm. There's not much you can do to bring it down, to whittle it down. If you buy something new with it, it still doesn't bring the price down. It's $20 no matter what. So you got to pay $20 for it. I paid $20 for it, and you know, it's worth $20. And the reason why I say it's worth $20 is because it saves me a lot of steps. Because, you know, you can get 3D fonts pretty easy into Daz Studio. But the thing is you have to do it like in a program like Photoshop. Angus, good afternoon to you. This is Alvin Beamer. He has made a bunch of like highly sophisticated programs for Daz 3D. I hope he comes up with the font smoothing one, with the mesh smoothing one soon. Okay, so this is an amazing, I have taken it for a test drive, so you don't have to see me pull out my hair to actually get it to work. This is the kind of program where you download it, you get the install manager to install it into your computer, and onto Daz, and then you have to go into your account and you have to get the password, and you have to go into the you would go into file, it would be help, and you go installed plugins. I'm not going to open this up because I don't know if any of my plugin security codes will be showing, but you go in there and you look for it's called Typi, so it's not in the F's for fonts, it's in the T's for Typi, 3D font. You put that in, you put in your code that you get in your Daz account here, all right? And then it appears here in this window of panes, and you look down again into the T's for Typi, and it will pop up here, and you can drag the tag and tab and put it here. Now, when you get this open, you'll go to type in a text, and it won't let you type anything in. It's like, what's wrong? And so, yeah, that's why I'm doing this, so you won't try to type in and not find out why in the heck can't, because you have to create a node first, okay? And so you click on this create node, and I'm going to go EZ3DTV. Okay, and we're going to create a node called EZ3DTV. When I click on it, it shows this little thing in the center here, but there's nothing there. Now you can type in the text, EZ3DTV, and we go enter, and wowie, wow. So this is what we have, and let's center this, okay? Oh, we got to I put a backslash there. Okay, we don't need that. So we're going to slide this over a little bit, if it'll let me. 9. Okay, we're going to go out of, we are out of iRay. Okay, why isn't it letting me move it? Oh, there we go. Wonderful. Wunderbar. Okay, so now we're going to bring this up here. You're going to see that this is an amazingly thing, because now we have every kind, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy, like, because Daz over time has, like, you'd get all these fonts, and it would give you a few words like happy birthday and get just married and stuff like that. You would see, and you could bring them into Daz, but I always knew the way to go into Photoshop and create 3D text. There was a 3D part of the Photoshop. I think they've deprecated that now, but you could go into Photoshop, you could extrude the text, which means to make it wider, and then you could just export it out. But it was a whole bunch of steps to do that. And with this, it's just you just basically create the node. And then look at this. I have a ton of, I need a ton of, I have a lot of fonts on my system, okay? Look at how many fonts I keep on my system. And every once in a while I think, do I have enough? So, yeah. And so all of these fonts, I can just basically, let's see if we can get this larger. Mr. J, awesome. Thank you for making it here into the live tutorial today. We are working with Typi3D. It's a brand new product in the store. Thank you for coming in. Please, everybody, remember to leave a like on my video. Oh, somebody just did. Somebody read my mind. Welcome, welcome. We are working with this awesome product here. And it's $20. In my opinion, it's worth it. What we're going to do is create a scene around this. And so I'm going to go in here and find a cool font. I mean, that is cool. I mean, right out of the box, look how nice the fonts are. Ravi. Look how nice they are, how rounded and beautiful they are. So this is really cool. I don't know why that one has a funky thing in it, but some of these fonts are maybe don't work so well. But as you can see, every one of these fonts work. It's just right out of the, and it's even got like slopes that come in. This is really nice. So we're going to find a fairly nice font here. And then we're going to work with surfaces. That one's kind of cool. I'm looking for a font for my logo here. My channel name. So something that looks pretty cool. And maybe I can use this as a logo instead of just putting text on my preview. Not maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is now your all of your text that you make for like Facebook previews can all be now in fully rendered 3D with all and utilizing all the shaders that you've bought. So yeah, this is amazing what we can do now. And now when I pick out fonts for my system, I try to pick out fonts that look different from one another. It's a matter of taste. That kind of looks like Flintstones kind of thing. It's a matter of taste of what fonts you like. But what I try to do is I try to find fonts that look different from each other. Okay, that's maybe just a little piece of advice on fonts for your system. So they don't all look just like regular, like a sans serif or something like that. So that they separate out and out from one another. That's what I try to do with fonts. And the thing about putting fonts in your font folder is, because it's down in your Windows folder on your C drive, is a folder called fonts, and you can just install fonts right into that folder. But the thing is, every time Windows loads, it takes up some of your RAM to load those fonts. So if you've only got like 4 gigs of RAM, don't go too crazy on fonts. But if you have 128 gigs like I have, then it's not, then you could, conceivably put 1 gig of fonts, which is a lot of fonts, okay, on your system. And you can go on these websites on the internet and you can find a ton. It would be nice if I could just like go down through them like this rather than clicking them one by one. But I guess it doesn't work like that. So I'm going to find something readable. All right. EZ3D. I think that's kind of cool. That's very readable, and it's a little bit italic. Not that that really is a must, but let's settle on something, okay? Now let's play around. Okay. Oh, I see what I had. Now I had this left. We can center it, which would possibly mean. Oh, that's okay. I'm not sure. It didn't seem to do anything when. That's if you have multiple lines. Okay. But currently we only have 1 line. Okay, I'm going to work with 1 line for now. Okay, let's bring this in so we can kind of look at it. This looks pretty cool, I think. And now what we can do is we have letter spacing. I'll just show you how this kind of works so we can space the letters apart. Line spacing, that's not going to do anything because we only have 1 line of text. And I'm going to go back to, let's see, 3, so it all fits back in here. Let's go 1, maybe. Yeah, EZ3DTV. Okay. And then we have font height, which is kind of cool. It doesn't just bring them up. I would assume you can go into parameters and you can also mess with the height like that. Isn't that cool? And this X scale. So that actually works better, but the ZZ that's resizing it as an object, where this is resizing like the internal guts of the font. So font height would be like this. So we'll bring it back here like that. And then we can extrude, which would be this way. We can decide how wide they are. All within Daz Studio. So this is an amazing thing. Okay, and then we also can go to the bevel steps, and this will make them smoother, I believe. Let's look at this in wireframe and see what happens, what's happening here. Okay, the bevel steps, that may be too many steps. Okay, bevel steps, bevel radius. So I believe this is like, it makes the centers, like the outer line that draws it bigger or smaller. And I kind of like that small because it also makes it more readable. So it gives you really, I would say, enough. Here, it looks like we have an excellent connection. So now what we're going to do is we're going to play around. We'll go back into iRay. That looks good enough. There's enough steps on that. Now what we're going to do is play around with some surfaces. And that would be here in all files. Here, default, shaders. I want to see this like in a ruby glass and things like that. I want to see it in metal. and maybe some really beautiful. Let's see what stone looks like. See, this is amazing right now. That's stone with moss, and this is like some kind of metal. And let's see, this is a fabric or something. Tile. Doesn't look like it has any color associated with it. Here we go, fabric. And look at, this is so amazing how the outer rim has, so you could yes, you can go into the surface here, and you have the back, the border, and the front. So you can put a different texture on, like, okay, the border, we can go put like a metal texture on the border. And it doesn't look very shiny, but it is. These are pretty nice. Now let's see what else we have here. Or you can do, the red metallic is nice. And okay, so we can, this is very awesome. So now we can go here to back to the surface here, and let's pick the front and the back, and let's go to glass and find a glass color. That didn't work. Let's find another glass color. There we go. So now this is see-through. That is nice. How about this clear glass? Look at that. So, yeah. So what we're able to do here is so now I like that a lot. Now let's go with VDB default products default. Okay, it's got to find all of these things. This decaf is delicious today. I'm usually only allowed a couple cups of decaf a month. So we are looking for this VDB props here. Let's see what this looks like. And we'll put the fog. That just completely obscured this. So let's see what this VDB looks like, where it all is here. Let's pull this over like here. Bring it ahead. And down a little bit. Now let's zoom back in a little. See what we've got. Let's go with a black environment. So we'll go to our environment. We'll go backdrop, black. Okay. Let's see what we have here. And down. No, not with the VDB, with the camera. Oh, it looks like a motor oil commercial, motor oil thing. But that's okay. With Valvoline. Okay, look at that. So we take now our, this looks like, you know, a thing. Now what I could do, that's one thing of it. Let's render this. Let's go to render settings, general, 2000. Let's go 4000, 16 by 9. And let's go to, here we go. Where are we going? Let's go to here. Click maximum samples, maximum time, off, and render. This is going to render quite quickly. Let's see what we have here. Look at this. Very, very nice. There's a little bit of steps here, but when you make it smaller, you don't really see it. Look at this. This is so amazing. So I could very easily just add more steps, but there is a possibility of possibly putting sub D on this. Let's cancel this. That was kind of loud. Thank you, Windows. So we could put some sub D on this. Let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, we're going to save this. EZ3DTV. TV. All right. Now, what happens when we put sub D on this? Because we may not need to put, okay, create. No, edit, object, geometry, sub D. Okay, that's the wrong. You can't put sub D on fog. Okay, edit, object, geometry. Whoa, look at that. Now, that's not what I wanted, but I think I can fix it. That's why I saved it, because I wasn't sure that it was going to work. We go to parameters, and what we have to do is change it to maybe bilinear. Oh, see? Just one little change. And when we zoom in on this, now look, those steps are pretty darn smooth, but we can now add more levels to them. Sub D2 and 3. Let's see, soft corners and edges. See, this still isn't smooth enough for my eye, even at 4. So, how do we, I think we can remove sub D also. Geometry, remove smoothing modifier. I don't think that did it because it's still here. What about this loop? Okay, that's horrible. And cat mark legacy. So that's horrible too. So the only one that really works with this is bilinear. And so we'll leave that on there, but we can go back now into our type here and just go to this bevel steps. And Bezier steps. We don't have very many of them. Go to 22 and see what happens here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just gone. Now that is as sharp as could possibly be. Look at that. Probably I don't even need 25, but there we go. So it's all contained within your settings here, how sharp you want your text. But that is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So now we can do a render. Okay, now I'm happy to render this. Let's bring this out a little bit more so it's close to the edge. All right, we're going to do a couple of different renders. Okay, so we're going to render this. This is render 1. We lost Mr. J. Where did you go? Okay, we're already up to almost 2,000 iterations. So that's how quickly this rendered, which doesn't hurt to really render this fog out really nice. Okay, but we have 3D text now in Daz Studio. 3D text right within, and you know what? I went into the forums about 6 months ago, almost a year ago, and I asked them, I said, could somebody please make 3D text for Daz? And they said, well, there is a 3D text thing. You could do it, and it was kind of okay. And it was free, but it was discontinued, and it was kind of like a pain to set up and get it to work. I got it working, and for somehow I ended up redoing my hard drive. I had to buy a bigger hard drive to house my library, and I never reset it back up. But I've always used Photoshop text, and it's a long process where you have to make the text in Photoshop, then you have to bring it into Daz. It was a really and if you didn't like the font, then you had to go back into Photoshop, redo the text, re-export it, bring it back in, set up. We're already up to 3,000 iterations. Okay, so we're going to cancel that. Why is my Windows? Oh, I know why. So this is going to be EZ3DTV. Save that. Okay, now what we're going to do is work with some canvases. So I'm going to turn off the fog. We're going to go back to our environment and go back to, what was this, white? Oh, no environment. Backdrop, none. Okay, and I believe if I come back out of here like this and go back in, we won't have any more fog. We shouldn't. Okay, we do not have any more fog. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we have to turn the ground off. I don't think I want these shadows here. So we have to go into our parameters like this and back to our scene, to environment, and we go to dome and scene, scene only. And now my camera is lighting everything. So what I'm going to do is take and create a spotlight. Now the spotlight is doing this. Let's look through the spotlight. Come out. Let's get the spotlight out far enough so that it will shine on the whole thing. Bring it up. Bring it down. Excuse me again. All right, there's that. Let's select our font and put that in the middle of the spotlight here. Why won't you move? Okay. All right, that should be about in the middle. And let's look back through, click on the spotlight again, make sure it's right on this. I think I've got to bring, no, I guess we've got it. Bring it back a little bit more. All right. Now let's go back to our perspective view. It's got to come over here. Let's create a camera. Create, new camera. Brought it to our perspective view. And now we have to turn our spotlight on so that it has some power. Let's go to 9 and see what that does. That's not very bright. Let's give it another 9. Okay, how about another 9? Well, this glass inside we're not getting the same effect now from the glass that we were getting before. let's try some different glass. It's just not responding well to this particular material. Default, script, shaders, glass. Okay. Now we got to go to files. No, we have to go to surfaces. Okay, we have glass here. Let's try some other glass. How about this glass? Oh, we have to select the correct one here, which would be front and back. And now we go back here. Well, it's kind of showing. It is showing through now, which I'm not too, at least it's showing, we're using a clear glass. So what this is going to happen is whatever I put here is going to be see-through. It's going to show right up on that. So what I could theoretically do is just make this, the inside clear. So there's no glass at all. Let's see what this ruby glass looks like. See, I kind of like having some kind of glass there. Let's play around with some glass. This is frosted. Oh, that has a really nice sheen to it. What would be nice is to get a happy medium to be semi-transparent. Yeah, here we go. Multicolor infusion. I kind of like this, because what I'm seeing in here is a little bit of a sheen, but I'm seeing the gray come through it. It seems to have, and the light is, the 3 is catching a little bit of the light. Let's try it. So what we're going to do is now go into our render settings, and we're going to go into canvases, click canvases, add beauty. And what's the other one we have to add? This would be beauty and lighting environment lighting. No, I guess beauty is the one we want. Shadow, ambient, occlusion, lighting environment. So we just want to have, okay, now that I think of it, if I just do a render, I don't think I even have to do this. Yes, because it's a PNG. So we don't have to have canvases on. We just have to render. Go to render settings, editor, 4000. Okay, render, and render this. And notice how this checkerboard in the back is, that means that it's it is invisible there, but we have a little bit of a sheen here. So this is exactly what we want here. This is going to be a PNG, and we're already up to 400 iterations. So what you can do quickly now, very quickly, and to me, I think it's worth it, is you can come in here, you can create 3D text and put that text as your YouTube art. Good day to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are working with the exciting new easy, this is the, it's a new thing out in the Daz store. It's called Typi3D, fonts to 3D. I know that there's an app that you can get that's free, and you can install it, and it pops up in Daz, and it allows you to make fonts, any kind of system font. but this one works kind of nicer. It's $20 right now. I paid the $20, but yes, Angus is here as well. And it is wonderful to have you both here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we're up to already 2,800 iterations. So now I'm going to give you guys, take this a little step further. Okay, we're going to save this. Okay, 3,000 iterations is enough. So what we're going to do is, this is EZ3DTV, and this is called, we'll call this transparent. All right, transparent, and we're going to save that as a PNG. Okay, so now I'm going to open up Photoshop, and I'll show you guys what I kind of do to make my YouTube, what are they called? I have so many terms in my life. Terminology, I am so termed out. YouTube previews, okay? And so I'll give you guys a quick thing on how I make YouTube previews, okay? So we're going to go here, new file, and I make it at 1024. I make it at 1024 by 1920 by 1080, okay? So it's, and I also save them as a really kind of weak JPEG. So what I do when I get this blank screen here, okay, is I go Control A, which selects all. Okay, you want to go here, Control A. And once you Control A, you'll see this little kind of these marching ants going around the edge here. And they that means that you've selected the whole canvas. Once the whole canvas is selected, then you can talk to the AI and you can say, hey, AI, I want you to make something. And so I'm going to say, make a pastel background with circular shapes. Just we can say triangular shapes. You can, with little watches, with little clocks, you can make anything like that. Make a pastel. I've done it with feathers. I've done it with swirls. You know, just make a pastel background. I've never done it with circular shapes. Okay, shapes. So make a pastel background with generate, okay? So it's always a pastel background because I want my things to kind of, my text to stand out on it. So I just tell to make it, look at this. Now see all of these? See, it did it. This is a perfect little background for a preview, okay? So then now I can go and file, open, and we can go in here and look for EZ3DTV, and we want to do that in here. EZ3DTV, and there's the PNG file, and look at that, it's already transparent. Select A, copy, come in here, V, and now we go up here, and this is the beauty of Photoshop, people. Okay, this is what Photoshop is. And so you can now make all of your background stuff for your in 3D. Okay? And once we click that, that becomes so sharp. EZ3DTV. We could put it up here. I think it might stick. I think it sticks out best over the. But when you put it down here, there's usually like stuff with YouTube. It's like the little click buttons and all kinds of stuff down here. YouTube kind of utilizes this area of the preview. So it's best to put it like up above, because down here is the play bar and all those other things, and it would stick. So, okay, Z, don't move that. This right here. Well, let's select that layer. Thank you. So I wouldn't put it any lower than this. I wouldn't put text any lower than this. But basically, you can just, I could put it here. There's usually like a little preview box of the next video or stuff like that. It's just not a good idea to put that there. Okay, it's fighting me. So we're going to put this up here. And so this is really cool how you can do this. Now, I could have used red glass in here so that it wouldn't be 3D, so you wouldn't see through it as much. I was watching someone using Unreal Engine to run their program called Linux Render Studio. Pretty cool just for photo renders, but it works. It looks like it has a great potential in record time rendering. You know, Art, once I got like 23090s, once I got actually even a 1080 Ti, okay, I could render like the most complicated scenes, like well, I had like 11 gigs, I could render complicated like scenes with ultra scenery and a couple of figures and an environment and maybe 2 hours to render. And the thing is I had already done my work. I'd spent a couple hours putting the scene together. I don't mind because I've already worked on the scene. I don't mind like setting my computer into render mode, and it only takes a couple of hours to. Yeah. So I don't put to me right now. No longer are CUDA cores. CUDA cores are not my thing. Like it used to be like more CUDA cores. That's all I want is more CUDA cores. That's all I care about. As long as I can get more CUDA cores, that's all I care about. But now I don't care about CUDA cores. What I care about, which is video RAM. I care about being able to put, because almost every scene that I make, I run out of video RAM, and I have to like take things out of the scene. And it doesn't matter if, because most of the time I can fill that scene with like 24 gigs worth of stuff and still have it render in an hour, and render so pristine and so beautiful. And it will render up to like 2,000 iterations in an hour. An hour isn't that long to sit and render. I watch a movie for like, and halfway through the movie, it's done. And I'm going to watch that movie anyway. So, and I can set it to render whenever I want. I could set it to render before I go to bed. So right now, render speed is not my concern at all. The only time render speed is my concern is when I'm working on an animation. And I don't work on animations in Daz. I just don't, because it's everything is too slow. All of the textures are the only time I will work on an animation is in Unreal Engine, okay? And in Unreal Engine, all of the textures have been baked. The geometry has been like disseminated so that it's I don't think the word is disseminated. It's decimated. Yeah. It's been simplified for the figures. everything has been made so that it will just render like so fast. Yeah, that it and usually you can get by with, like, in animation in Unreal. Like in Daz, I need 2,000 iterations per scene at least, sometimes even 6,000 iterations. In Unreal, I can get by with like 20 or 30 iterations. Yeah, so it's no longer really is rendering time an issue. The biggest issue to me is video RAM, being able to put I need 48 gigs of video RAM, and I would also like to have faster RAM, like so that things load faster into the RAM. It's no longer the CUDA cores. The CUDA cores to me are fine. It's like very adequate, because I have two 3090s, so that's like double the CUDA cores. And as you can see, this 3D, this is glass and everything. Watch how quickly this renders. Okay, I'm going to click render. Yes, that completely explains it. Yes, Art, they cut every possible corner. Like in Unreal, I just found out like about 4 days ago, they have this setting where you can do one-sided textures, so that like if you have a coat on, all right, the texture shouldn't have to go on the inside of the coat. If it's buttoned and everything, and all you see is the outside of the coat, why do you have to have texture lining the inside of the coat? And then what they do is they don't even have a body underneath the coat. They shut the body off, and all the body textures, the only part that's showing are the hands coming out of the sleeves and the head coming out of the oh yeah, they cut every corner, so right now, like in Daz, with no corners cut at all, and when you have your textures go from Daz into the NVIDIA graphics card, they are uncompressed. NVIDIA graphics card doesn't use JPEGs. It doesn't use. Yeah, it is, and it totally takes the and they've been doing that with games for years. That's why Unreal is so skilled at that. It's been kind of like secrets, but it's like, how do they make I'm in, like, when I'm playing Assassin's Creed, and it looks like there's dust flying by, and my experience with volumes is dust doesn't just fly by like that, because it takes hours just to render one particle field. And in Unreal Engine, they've got this particle field flying by, and the dust is just swirling around in the air. And it's like, how the hell did they do that in real time? It's because they cheat in every conceivable possible way. And that's what learning Unreal is about, is learning how to, and they've been doing that in the movie industry for many. That's the best movie animators, are the ones that know how to completely cheat. Like, the spaceship goes by, okay? And the whole back of the spaceship is gone. It's not even there. All you're seeing is the front. And they've been doing that for many, many, many years and so because of that, you can sit and render those scenes 30 pictures a second, like very quickly, because it's just, if they, and the background isn't really a star field, it's an image with stars on it. It's like all of the things they cheat on in every conceivable way, and the very best animators are the ones who have up in their toolbox a whole slew of cheating techniques. So it's not so much render times right now as it is being able to fit a ton of stuff in a scene. To be able to fit 48 gigs worth of stuff in a scene. So to make the scene really complicated. But all those things in the scene are still optimized as much as possible so that it can be very complicated and a very massive scene, but still render. They render so quickly. So that's, so I'm no longer looking for more CUDA cores, because they're going to come anyway. And I'm waiting for the 5090. I won't settle for a 4090. Why? Because the 4090 has twice as many CUDA cores as the 3090 does. One 4090 equals two 3090s like what I have. So I could say, oh, I just buy one of them. They're only $3,000. So just buy one of them. And I can take the two out of my computer that I have. You can literally, that way too, just close the eye next to the place of cloth body under the outer layers. Yeah, yes, there are ways to do that. There's the Decimator. You can buy this Decimator program. But the thing is that I don't think I spelled that right. Is it an E, Decimator? Echo, how do you spell Decimator?
Decimeter is spelled D-E-C-I-M-E-T-E-R.
Echo, stop. Okay. Decimeter. I think it says Decimeter, but that's not what we're looking for. Okay, there's a program on Daz. It's not Decimeter. It's D-E-S-C-I-M-A-T-E-R. Decimator. Okay, well, there's a program here that allows you, and what it does is it takes the geometry, the mesh in things, and it simplifies it enough so, well, it doesn't look like kind of cubistic, but it brings it down as close as you can get to being cubistic. But the problem is that it's not the geometry. In this case, it might be because I really set this geometry to be quite fine. But even so, that's not what's, it's the textures that take up, and you see, that's like at one of these days I'm going to go on the forums, the Daz forums, and I'm going to ask them. I said, could you please talk to NVIDIA so that we could have JPEGs because it takes so we can use JPEGs. So it will load JPEGs into Iray. And see, what it does is you can go into Photoshop and you can save this as a JPEG and it will compress the heck out of it. And I don't know if it's possible to do that, but it's going to look exactly the same, except it's compressed and it's a JPEG and it's like 1/12 the size of what a bitmap would be. And it's but it's a JPEG. But when you load that, so you can put that, bring that JPEG in, put it on on your object here in Daz. And what Daz does is it takes that JPEG, turns it back into a huge bitmap, and then puts it in the video RAM. And then it does some kind of very light compression. So at this point, but it's not like a JPEG. It's not like 12:1 compression, I don't believe. And if you go into the render settings here in the advanced, this is the texture compression, okay? It's high threshold. And so I think anything above 1024, it will compress, but it doesn't really tell you how much it's compressing and to what degree it's compressing. And I don't believe it compresses very heavily. So, and that's, it's the textures that are on top of things. That's what's taking up all your video RAM. It's not the mesh underneath it. Okay, that mesh is very... No, it's not instantify. That's for that's for looking at instances and stuff. No, this is called Decimator. Let's try DECI Decimator. It's called Decimator. I'm quite sure it is. Let's go to DECIMA DECEMATER Decimator. Oh, it's no, it's decimate. All right, maybe it's decimate. Maybe it is OR. Here it is. You're right. Okay, thank you. Here it is. It's Decimator for Daz Studio. Okay, very helpful, Art. I was going to give up. Okay, I haven't purchased this yet. But, okay, this is Decimator. Okay, this is in my wish list, but right now it's normally $102. Now it's 65% off, and it's still, so it's only $36 right now. But I will tell you a little secret about this, okay, is that, first of all, you can do this if you own Character Creator. You can do this for, it's just part of Character Creator, okay? It's called LOD, which I forget what LOD stands for. It's like... what does LOD stand for in animation? Okay, it says level of detail. I never can remember what that is. So that's what the industry term is now. It's not Decimator. It's LOD. It's level of detail. Yeah, well, that would probably get... The reason why I'm not purchasing this is because if I import this figure into Character Creator, I wouldn't decimate it in Daz anyway, because this amount of geometry is not like a huge amount, okay? And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of little dots here, but one JPEG or one... would probably be about the amount of geometry, just one, like the legs image would be about the amount of these dots, because every dot, like, so this isn't a lot of geometry. Yes, this is less, but you're going to get like bumps all over their arms and everything. And if that's the case, then what you do is you just go in and turn off the geometry under their clothing. You just turn it off, turn their arm off, and turn these parts, their legs. Yeah, for Daz, because Daz is all about close-up kind of perfection. It's for one image. Daz is about making one image. I've kind of resolved myself to that. And you're right, Art. It's probably, that's why this probably isn't even an HD and figure. And when I first started out in Daz, I thought HD stood for high definition, which to me I translated as like 4K textures. And I was like, when are you going to come out with 4K, figures? And I asked that in the forums, and they said, no, HD doesn't stand for high definition. It stands for high density. Okay? And so that means that it's HD is not talking about the textures on the outside. HD is talking about the mesh underneath. And so, yes, you're right. You are absolutely right, Art, that Daz went the other way. Instead of Decimator, it went to the level of making this mesh for the figures even more fine. And so that's why these like level 4 and these different higher levels of definition, sub D levels and all of that, that has to do with HD, and it has to do with high density. And you're right. It's so that the lips can have little cracks in them and things like that, so that their faces, you don't want the lips made of something like this. And so that is why I never bought this, okay? Because I don't want my figures looking like that. And you are 100% right that you want more info for the characters. But if you're going to have like a collar like this and all the way down covered the feet, you can maybe just leave the arms on. If the shirt only comes down to here, leave the arms on. But from this part of the neck all the way down and the feet, you can turn them right off because they're covered by clothes. You don't need to see them. You turn them off and they're not going to load. I don't believe they load in the rendering engine. So, and like I said, though, you're still not saving. It's still not a huge amount of data for all this mesh compared to just one image where every single dot in that image is and it's not just each pixel, but the pixels have little corners to them, and there's they're aware of every pixel that's around them. It's like, yeah, and that's why that one image, one bitmap can be lots of megabytes. And so all of the image, and you don't just have a base image, but then you have your ocular occlusion image, you have your metallicity image, you have your normal image, your bump image, and all kinds of other images sometimes. So it's not the mesh that is taking up all of your video RAM. It's the images on top of everything that's taking it all up. So this Decimator program, if you want to animate in Daz and you want to stick to just maybe base textures and you want to get everything Yes, it is, but I'm not sure. It's not gone, but I think I'm not. I don't know that. Um, it's not gone, but I'm not sure exactly what happens to it. So I would be guessing, but I've always assumed that if you turn it off, that it does lessen the amount of video RAM that is required to render the scene. I'm not positive about that, but I've always assumed that's the case, and that is definitely the case in Unreal Engine. As soon as and okay, when you turn it off, it doesn't need the images, okay, that are on it. That's one thing that it may require some of the geometry, and some of the geometry it might only require the what's it called, the weight map. It may not require the geometry. I'm not sure. Okay, I don't know. That's something that's above my knowledge, but it definitely doesn't require the textures. And like I said, each body part can contain all these textures. Those do not get loaded. And that is a big one. So that's the biggest part of it. So, right now at 24 gigs, I can usually fit a whole scene because my 3090 has a maximum of 24 gigs. I can usually fit like ultra scenery, 2 or 3 figures in the scene, and an environment like, a big barn or a house or something like that, plus a huge HDRI in the background, some fog and all kinds of other stuff thrown in, little objects and props and stuff, and still be under 24 gigs. Not always, and I would like to be able to add much more to my scenes, but I have to stop there because if I add any more, I will run over. I know just about how much it can take. So now, if you would like to render in Daz Studio, to do animation in Daz Studio, then not only do you want to do this Decimator thing, but then you also want to bake your textures so that they all become one texture somehow. And you want to do all kinds of, you want to start doing these tricks and in Daz, and then you can make a nice complicated animation, and it looks really, 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 really cool. But it's still, but it's very low. So Decimator is if you want to render in Daz, and my preference right now is to take things out of Daz and render them elsewhere because it's the other programs seem to, just like the minute you take them into Character Creator, they just instantly come alive. You can just put there, it's just so much more. Daz is trying to catch up on the animation thing. I'm not saying that they won't in the future, but right now it's Unreal is where the animation aspect is. Daz is where the still frame stuff is. So yeah, this is EZ3DTV. That worked out real well. Let's do another, let's save this scene right here. Let's go File, New. Let's do another 3D text, create a new file, a new scene. And let's go back here like that. Let's go out of iRay. And let's go back now to our Typi3D. We're going to create a new object. And let's call this, well, I'm going to do the EZ3D again, but we'll do it with some other EZ. Because that's what it just helps me with my work to have logos now that I have this program. So we go EZ3DTV, And whammo, there it is. Okay, so we're going to look up Face Mojo. All right, and this is a Daz product here. Okay, these are Daz products. This is for Genesis 3. You'd want to probably buy the Genesis 9 or Genesis 8. Okay, and what this requires, and it all depends. This is the bundle. It's $280 for this. Excuse my, I want to use an explicative right here, but I won't. But yeah, for this blankety blank bundle, way, way, way overpriced. Okay. But what this does is it allows you to make your Genesis 9 figure come alive, and they start talking, and you go, hello, hello, hello. But what you can also do is, so I don't know. I prefer going the other route, and I really want to take and unplug my phone right now and kind of go and look on there. What I would do is get the LiDAR camera first, okay? Because you can't use any of this without a LiDAR camera. It says, oh, you got to have an Apple phone, but then no, it's got to be later than a certain version. Okay, this is for Genesis 9, so I don't know if you can get by with just the Genesis 9 one. I think you can, so it's $100. This does go on sale occasionally. Okay, so basically what he's doing is, and we could look a little bit at the video here. Just watch a little.
Hi, my name's Tiara, and I'd like to introduce to you the all-new Face Mojo for Genesis 9. Now you can bring all your favorite Genesis 9 characters to life.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna do with that. You'll have to watch it yourself here if you want to watch it, because I don't want to encroach on their video. But as you can see, the lips aren't really that precise. They do move with it, but there's a little bit of tongue action too. You should see it's really weird when you stick out your tongue, like this tongue of the Genesis 9 will come out and look kind of like a lizard or something. It's really strange, but it does work, and I've used it before. Now, yeah, I've used it before on this channel, okay? And what you do is you export your Daz figures. I've just completely forgotten how to do that and how I did that. But the best way to do that is with Character Creator, okay? Yes, because they have, and the thing is that Character Creator and with Character Creator, you have it uses a free app. So what you do is you buy this with Reallusion. Okay, Reallusion. This is the way to go, okay? It's not to buy all that Daz stuff, because what you do is you take your Daz figures and you import them into Reallusion, and then you do the LiDAR camera thing in Reallusion, okay? Because Reallusion takes your characters and converts them into something that can move a little faster than the Daz figures, because it has all that geometry. It takes and does a very clever way to make your characters. So when we go here to products and we go to iClone, let's go to Character Creator, and it'll take you to this page where you can buy these bundles. I think they're here. Where's the prices here? Blender. Okay, content store. Let's see, actor store, marketplace. Which one? Okay, I think I got to go back up here. Over Character Creator 4. Stores. Okay, software store. Take me here. Okay, this is for Character Creator 4, and Now you'll notice that there's this thing called iPhone face mocap. Okay, and that's what you want. All right. And there's another one here which is called products. Let's look at all these products here. Now, this one is called AccuFace. I don't see it here, but it's called AccuFace, and AccuFace is for just a regular. Okay, it's AccuFace is. Let's see if this is it. When we go to plugin. Okay, Live Link plugin. It says $999. If you look around, you can get this Live Link plugin from them for free. They're still selling it for $999, and I paid I think I paid close to like $800 for it. But if you look deep inside their website, they're giving it away for free. Yeah, and so I contacted them and I said, you're giving this away for free, and I just paid you $800 for this. And I said, can I get my money back? And they said, oh, no, you've already had it for 14 days. So, no. So, yeah, this stuff is like majorly overpriced. Daz Studio is offering their software for free, and this stuff is like way overpriced. You have to wait until it's on sale. This is like half price right now. So these bundles are the way to go, but I would just buy this bundle here. This right here is a steal for $600-700. Now this spring it might go down in price, but yeah, I think I paid about $700 for this. Okay, so for these two, it's worth it to buy these two. But then what we're talking about here is, so not to make the mistake, okay, to buy the iPhone face mocap, all right, and then buy AccuFace thinking you have to buy them both. They're both hugely expensive. But and then what comes with this face mocap is a free app that it's free from Reallusion that goes on your phone. This might be it. Actually, this face mocap might be it. So, but I don't think so. I think it's a separate app that goes into iClone and then into Character Creator, and then this. But all I know is you don't need to have, and because what this does is it, like you see those little, it uses your LiDAR camera from your iPhone, and that is the only way worth doing it, because the AccuFace uses your regular camera, so you can use it on any camera. You can use it with a webcam. You can use it with any kind of camera, but the lips do really weird kind of things, and it's all messed up. It's horrible, okay? And the only real way to make your characters talk and to and then you can go in, you can record it, and this is live. So literally I could be sitting and having my Daz character just talk while I just talk along and everything. And it works. It works really, really well. I don't know why I have completely forgotten how to do this. So, but you have to open the app on your iPhone, and it connects automatically to Character Creator. This is the way I would do it. I would not buy the all of this Daz stuff here, which kind of does the same thing, but this stuff isn't live. Okay, is she showing her this doing like she's just talking along?
Motion capture. Use your iPhone and one of the supported iOS apps to record your facial motion and then apply it to your face.
See what she just said? Use your iPhone to record your facial motion. Okay, so you have to record it and then you apply it to the Daz figure. But in Character Creator, you just use it. They have this app, and you just open the app, and the LiDAR camera looks at you, and it records, and it does it live. It pipes that LiDAR information live to your imported Daz character in Character Creator, and that Character Creator can become like an avatar. And I've done this before. I've done an entire couple of live streams where I just used like one of their ogres, and I used a frog once, and I used the Daz frog, and I used a bunch of just any character to live right here, instead of my picture on the screen. I think I'm going to end this video right about here as well. So I'm going to go cook something to eat, and probably take a little nap. So I don't know. I think I'm pretty much done with this whole avenue. So we've got this 3D Typi3D. My suggestion is, yes, it's $20. It's not on a major sale right now, but yes, I'm in Maine. You take care, Art, and I think that's going to be it. Angus, have a wonderful afternoon, my friend, and we will talk again soon. And that's going to do it for me today. So I hope this has been a good tutorial on the 3D program. There's not much to it. You basically just what you saw. And so I figured, okay, Art was here and he wanted to talk about scanners and 3D scanners and all. And so that's what we did. And so if you have learned something from this, please leave a like, click the bell for notifications, and leave comments if you would like me to discuss some other aspect of things. I'll be doing another video at some point using LiDAR again and showing. But if you want to see me use LiDAR, you can look back, and when you look back in my previous videos, if you see me and it's not me, but it's something else, well, that's me using the LiDAR camera to have another thing talk, and you'll get to kind of see how well that works with it. So yeah, I think I did a frog one time, and I think I did an ogre. I'm not sure what I did, maybe an orc. So yes, all right, well, take care. Something very scary. So, all right, have a wonderful day. You have it good as well, Angus. We will talk again soon. This is Rex Red saying thank you for watching. This is EZ3DTV, and I will be back with more EZ3DTV soon. Awesome products and things to talk about and explore. All right, take care. Bye-bye.